So, as you might have seen the post I did earlier, we do have a new platform in the Nitro Barn, TLR 8X Elite. I figured, I got the truggy, we might as well have the buggy, right? Right. So, we'll go over that here in a few minutes and some things that are going to be going on. Hopefully, I can get something on the ground tomorrow, but I'll go over that in a minute. Let's take a look at this new body. This is my third body for the 8XT. I think it came out pretty good. I wanted to keep it the same color scheme as the actual, stickers. The dark yellow, white, and black. So we actually didn't do a fade job like I normally would do on these. And these are pretty easy to do. This one I actually taped off my lines and stuff. And it came out pretty sweet, man. I like the way it came out. The lines are really nice and neat all the way down. I did the black and faded into the dark yellow, just like the whole scheme of the platform itself. So the only thing on this platform that is different that I don't like is like here on the Techno, the rock guards down here, the side rock guards, they come cut out for the pipe. Here on the 8XT, you have to cut that out yourself. I mean, you can keep it over it, but I didn't want to come up too far on the cutout. I actually cut this too far out, and different pipes have different leaks, so I may have to cut this out a little bit more. But it actually came out really nice, man. I'm really, really proud of this body, man. The lines pretty much perfect in there, man. So you just have to take your time on it and tape it out nice. But I wanted it to be a nice, simple paint job. Um, we will bash this body, just like all the rest of them, but I want to shoe goo it. Um, and the body, I'll go over this in a minute, the body for the buggy is going to look exactly like this. The two paint schemes are going to be identical. And then we're going to pick up 2 or 3 more bodies for the buggy. I'll probably going to work on this tonight. We may get it painted up this evening. I don't know. It's a little cool outside. It feels a little damp, so it's not always a great painting atmosphere. But I think this came out pretty sweet. So tomorrow, I've been wanting to get this on the ground so we can continue to test the iLossi. This is a iLossi tuned. It's basically a race modded Virtus, and it's badass. Y'all saw how that RCR modified Virtus ran. It was bad to the bone. So we'll get that on the ground tomorrow, and we'll do some tuning the way I'm going to do it. I've already done the break-in, the idle tanks and RPM tanks and everything on the Huddy break-in stand. Again, shout out Family Affair for loaning that to me. I'll get it back to you whenever you want it. Just holler, and I'll mail it back to you. I appreciate you letting me use it, though. But we'll work on this tomorrow at some point, as long as the weather's good. I also thought about getting out with the Fiskale tomorrow, giving it a rip. I love running this thing. They're easy to run. We've buttoned up all the issues that it had, so should be good to go. I do still want to get the IRP turnbuckles, the links here. I just haven't had a chance to do it. I need to order them. It's about $80 or $90 worth of stuff because you have to get the hardware to go with it too. I think the IRPs are about 60 bucks, and then another 20 or $30 for the hardware. It may not even be that much. I think it's like maybe $16. But anyway, let's go over what I got, and I kind of want to get started on this tonight. I'm pretty beat, man. It's really hard for me having only one day off a week. Thinking about setting this up for the track, and I want to explain something to you guys. One of the main reasons I don't run on a track, regardless of what some idiot said that doesn't even know me or anything about me, the closest track that I have is either Thornhill or Oates. Thornhill is about 65 miles, maybe 70 miles from me, so that's 140 miles round trip just to go race for one day and practice. That's kind of out of the question. I still want to go hang out with my brother Elliot. He's actually there today. And then there's another one called Oaks that's not as far, but still 120 mile round trip just to go race. I only have one day off a week, people. Things are going to get a little easier. It's not going to be as busy through the winter time. And here in Texas, the weather doesn't get too bad. You can still race. You know, it still gets warm outside, but we'll see. I've got plenty of diff fluids in here, you know, anywhere from your race setup fluids to, I think I've got a 125 right here, or that's 12.5 or 125, I don't know, one of the two. But I've got 60, and I've got 60, and I've got at least 100K. So if we wanted to set this up for bashing, I've got what it takes to do that as well. But I'm thinking about it. I don't know. It's just hard for me, guys, and I don't want to set up for a race platform, you know, a race setup in the diffs and shocks if I'm not able to get out to the track but once in a blue moon. I still want to be able to run it out here, and you know, to get the most power to the ground, you need to thicken up those diffs. So we'll see. I'm not sure. We may pick up an extra set of diffs for it just to swap out like I did with the Techno. I've got a second set of diffs for the Techno buggy if I wanted to go race it. So that Techno buggy's been through hell, though. This is my third professional race kit that I'm going to build from the ground up. You know, this was my first one, the NT 48.3. This one I bought from a buddy of mine, Matt. It was already built. He was a racer and took good care of it, but I rebuilt this whole thing, new chassis, everything. Here's the old chassis here. There's both my old chassis. And then, you know, I built the 8XT about a month or so ago, and this will be my third one. So I started out in this hobby, guys. When I was a kid, I had a few Cox planes and a really nice, probably something a little more than what I should have had at 12 years old, an on-road nitro car. And that's where I learned how to do nitro. But I've only really been in the RC hobby full-fledged like this for going on about 2 years. I did start out with electric stuff, you know, typical Traxxas stuff and things like that. But then I went into my LST. So about a year and a half ago, I started building my LSTs. I built these from the ground up, and I built 8 or 9 of them, fixed them up, built them, and sold a bunch of them. I did keep these two. And then my first 1/8 scale buggy was the Hyper 7 RTR. Badass buggy. I love that buggy. But you can go back in my videos from my very beginning. My very first YouTube video was breaking in this Hyper 7 stock, brand new out of the box. And I just kind of progressed from there. No BS, no lying, no I'm something that I'm not. You know, that's one thing, people. Don't try to be something that you're not, man. Try to, hang on, let me get the trash can. Alright, guys, sorry about that. Where was I? I had to help Mama with the trash there. So, oh man, forgot everything I was talking about right now. So anyway, well, don't try to be something you're not. You can go back in my videos and you can see how I progressed in the hobby. Never once have reflected back to anything that I had said previously, and you know, tried to make something more than it really was. So anyway, guys, that's neither here nor there. We're not dealing with that stuff unless you piss me off, and then we're going to deal with it for sure. So all right, so we're going to get into this race kit, and we're going to build it. We're going to start building it, and we'll go from there. But one thing I did want to say, man, I want to give a big shout out to my local hobby shop. I really appreciate the hookup on this. You guys have supported me over the past year. You know, all the little things that you've done for me to help me progress with the channel and the hobby. Your support has been greatly appreciated. Shout out to Patrick and Phil today for walking me through this thing and taking care of what I needed to have taken care of. Obviously, we are going to be running high voltage Savox servos in this thing right there. I got 2 brand new ones ready to go. And other than that, we just need to figure out what engine we're going to run in this from the jump. I think we need to pick up a brand new engine. I've been looking at some OS speeds, the Adam Drake. I haven't really checked into those iLossi tuned OSs yet, but my brother Elliot, that's all he runs is OS. He is a driver for TLR, sponsored driver for TLR. That's how I'm able to get a lot of the hookups that I get through Elliot, man. Tires, he'll use race tires and use them once out at Thornhill or Oates or wherever he goes. He's been out to Vegas, many big races, so he definitely helps take care of me in my portion of the hobby. Things that I need, he's always taking care of me. So shout out to Elliot, shout out to Patrick and Phil, shout out to RCHQ. This is their logo right here, guys. Remember, support your local hobby shop. And remember one thing, team drivers, they don't support their local hobby shops. They get their stuff from their sponsors. Whether they buy it from them or it's given to them, I'm not sure about all that. I'm sure it's a little bit of both, but they normally don't buy things from the local hobby shop. It's guys like you and I that are the bashers or the club racers that actually spend money in those hobby shops, especially ones that have tracks. My local hobby shop used to have a track for years and years, but they're moving, so they shut the track down. They're turning it into a car lot. They're about to level the whole thing, so that's why it's difficult for me to race people, because it's so far away. I heard one guy say, I guess he thinks he knows me or knows where I live or something, but he's got a track right down the road from him. Well, no, I don't. It's a long ways away, so it's hard for me, people. But we may set it up, and if nothing else, we'll set it up to bash from the jump, and then I'll pick up extra front and rear and center diffs, and we'll set those up for the track, and we can swap them out if I do decide that I want to go race one day or something like that. But once it slows down a little bit, I'll have more of an opportunity. So we are going to paint this body the same as the 8XT. They're going to be identical, or as close to it as I can get. It's definitely 2 different types of bodies, but I think it's going to be a little harder to paint that one because of the lines. But this one really came out pretty sweet, man. I'm really impressed with it. And some people said they were having trouble getting bodies. I guess that's, I can get them no matter what. And I'm assuming it's because, my hobby shop guy, my Elliot, he drives for TLR, so he can get certain things. But I think you can pick those bodies up at Horizon Hobbies right now. I think they might have just been out of stock. I also need to check on those front drive shafts for that thing. Other than that, guys, let's check out this TLR 8X Elite, see what it came with. So obviously I'm about to start on the diffs. The first bag A is all the diffs. I'm not sure what the housings look like on these. I know the ones on the 8XT were pretty different, different than anything I'd seen before. So let's take a look at this chassis. This chassis is closer to the original 4.0. It does have the guidelines on it right there for setting up your gear mesh. That's really good for the newbie in the hobby that has a hard time setting up their gear mesh. Pretty cool. It's a beautiful chassis. We're gonna have to get some Sumo skid plates for it. So let's see here. I know they had these separated for the front and rear clip. Looks like this is the front clip, so it's got the A and B blocks in there, those beautiful anodized aluminum blocks, hinge pins, A-arms, all your bearings, your drive shafts, axles, all that stuff. This one looks like it has all your shocks. Yep, there's those shocks, your shock fluids, springs. I do have extra springs, TLR down in here. I've also got a lot of Techno springs in there. So far, guys, I'm still loving my Techno better than the 8XT, though the 8XT is better now than it was than the 4.0, I believe, because they brought everything forward. That was the problem with the 8T RTR that I have. It was always wanting to kick up. You had to pull it down with the brakes on your jumps. But this one's a little more leveled as the Tekno is. So I think they took a cue from Tekno and pulled everything forward. So that's a plus on this thing. It's a lot more balanced in the air. But loving my Tekno. Love the Tekno buggy. We'll see how this 8X Elite handles in the air as well. So she's really a badass looking buggy, man. I can't wait to get this thing built. I'm not in a hurry though. I'm tired. I'm tired, people. So a couple of cool things that I noticed. One, I'm gonna have to pick up, I forgot, I'm gonna have to pick up another lithium-ion battery, the same as that Reaction battery. I'll put a picture of it for you guys that have these two platforms, the Truggy and the buggy. The Dynamite Reaction lithium-ion battery fits in here perfect, and it's 3200 milliamps, a lot of runtime on it. So I did notice the 8XT, the top chassis plate, this is all your Ackerman, your steering post, all that stuff, the same as the 8XT. But the 8XT came with a plastic top chassis plate here. And this one is the anodized aluminum. It matches the shock towers. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's an upgrade that the buggy comes that the Truggy doesn't. Another upgrade that the buggy comes with that the Truggy doesn't has a extra wing. Has a race wing. The other wing is the same as the 8XT. But it also comes in the package with the carbon fiber inserts for the A-arms. That's pretty badass. What we got here, these are all your turnbuckles. They don't have those gray ones like the 8XT did, those super heavy duty ones, but the setup is pretty similar. The different links to help show you which ones go where. The 8XT, it was, the directions were dead on with all the turnbuckles. If you just learn how to read and follow instructions, then you would see that. But clutch bell in there, I'm sure it's probably a 13 bell. You've got your engine mount and your clutch, 8X clutch flywheel and all that stuff in there. That's cool. So here's another upgrade from the 8XT. This one comes with the carbon fiber center diff mount top plate and the servo bracket there. It's already carbon fiber. I know these carbon fiber inserts and this top plate here, you have to purchase those separately if you want them on the 8XT. So it's something that I really don't understand, but it's pretty cool that this comes with all that stuff. And then of course your rear clip here, all your rear A-arms, it's a Gen 2 wing mount in there, your C and D blocks, beautiful anodized aluminum, and your shock towers and all that. One thing that I probably want to do on this one is I'm going to go ahead and get the aluminum rear carriers, and probably going to upgrade these shock shafts to the titanium nitrate. It just comes with your regular shock shafts in there. So other than that, guys, that's really about it. Pretty stoked that it has the upgrades in here for the buggy already, and we're gonna get started building this thing. You know, start off with the diffs, take my time. I'm pretty tired, guys. The only thing I'm gonna do tonight, I may just wash this body, get it ready to go. I like that it's already cut out for the nitro hole, but you still got to cut out. I normally cut these out right here to get a little more airflow in there, and then your antenna hole as well. So, and then we'll see the fitment once it's on. But I may wash this and start prepping it for paint. Again, guys, it's going to be the same as this 8XT, man. I think this came out bad to the bone, man. This was no mistake, people. I did this on purpose. Yep, I painted this, did the lines, everything. I mean, it's not a lot, man, but it still looks professional. It looks really good, man. So, there it is, man. Got my RCR sticker, my Nova Rossi sticker. I'm never going to put anything on here that I don't use on the platform. And of course, guys, those badass Savox servos, man. So for all the newbies watching my channel, and this is important because you want a servo, anything you buy, if you're getting into a professional race kit, anything you buy for that kit, especially if it's your first one or one of your first platforms, get a product that's tested and tried and true, and a product that has a good return policy, not some janky product from some brand new company that's only going to warranty for 90 days or whatever the case may be. You know, do what you want, try it if you want, but I would suggest if you're building your first kit, you're new to the hobby, go with a Savox or Hi-Tech or Protec, something like that we know is going to be a good servo. There's some companies out there that are very new, and you know, and that's another thing, man. A lot of people say with this other company, well, they've been testing for a long time, but nobody knows that. When you were new in this hobby, where did you go to get your information about products? Normally, you either went to your local hobby shop, who I know doesn't sell those other servos, or you went to YouTube. YouTube is where you see all the products, all the information on building and tech videos and all that. And if it's not out there, if it's not on YouTube, then a lot of people aren't going to know about it. And that's just plain and simple. So to me, guys, if you want a good servo, get you a good $90 high voltage Savox servos. You can't go wrong. I've had no issues with mine. These servos have been in this techno since the very beginning. I only had one servo go out, and it was because I was still learning how to do my endpoints a year ago. So you could probably go back and see that video, but these are great servos, people. Savox servos, man, do your thing. So also, guys, one more thing I wanted to let y'all know is this will be my last batch of Bones Brew Nitro Fuel. I will be switching fuels after this is gone. We will not be promoting or using the Bones products anymore. So I'm not going to tell y'all what fuel I'm going to be using. We're going to leave that kind of as a surprise or secret or whatever you want to call it. But as soon as this is out and I get my new batch of fuel that I'm going to be using, I'll let you guys know what it is. But we're not going to be promoting the Bones Brew anymore, that's for sure. So all right, guys, I think that's going to be about it. Again, we're going to put this on the ground, the iLossi. We're going to finish tuning it. I'll show you guys step by step, just like I did in the last tuning video I did. I forget which one. Might have been the modified Bonito or something like that. Oh, I also haven't sent off my LRP28 to RCR yet. That will be going out in a couple of weeks. And then we are looking at a new fifth scale platform that probably will come towards Thanksgiving, the end of November. But we will be doing a Rovin's a great product, don't get me wrong, but my next one will not be a Rovin. It will be another name brand. I'm not going to tell y'all which one it is. I've already decided. I've already picked out the platform and the way that I'm going, and as soon as I'm able to get that ordered and pick it up, you guys will be the first to know. But towards the end of November, around Thanksgiving time, we will be showcasing a new fifth scale platform. So with that being said, guys, I think that I'm going to go ahead and get to work on this beautiful new 8X Elite and start getting it built. So that's going to be about it. Remember, guys, treat people the way you want to be treated, and we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. I'm out.